Allen, Texas, and the so-called Catholic charities run by the Democratic Party and George Soros funding, literally by a UN NGO, the same NGO that ran the operations opening up the borders of Europe to the Islamic invasion, first only had this building right here where we famously confronted the gentleman illegally putting 3 children in the trunk of a car. Now they have rented this facility that used to be called Hollywood Fashion, a clothing store. And as you can see right here, there are more folks in the assembly line right here. See those packets? That's be loaded on an airplane or a private charter, and then they're put on these buses, and this just continues around the clock, totally illegal. The border absolutely completely open. Follow along right here. And again, this is importing a permanent underclass the Democrats and the deep state control. This is replacement migration right here. And of course, the globalists exploit the third world, and then they implode the borders and bring the third world here to be controlled. And many of these are families, but also many of these are unaccompanied children that even the Senate's own report 6 years ago found disappear into slavery, including sex slavery. Now, at least this time, this is a proper vehicle for the smuggling, and this is not the back of a trunk. This is not the trunk of a car. But we literally just arrived here 3 minutes ago. Our cameras weren't even ready, and boom, this facility, which just a month ago they leased, is now full of people. When the doors swung open and these people were filed out, I saw more than 50 people, men, women, and children inside right now. And now they've rented buildings up and down the street on both sides of the street. So again, a lot of people, when I stopped that car because they were illegally putting 3 children in the trunk, they said, oh, it must be fake because it says Hollywood on this old building that I guess decades ago had some type of clothing store. No, this is a real place, McAllen, Texas. This is real. What's going on right here, okay? And it's all illegal, but Biden is not enforcing federal law. And these counties are even bucking the state governor, Abbott, who's declared an emergency here and called in state police from around the country to try to arrest people when they do violate the law, like trespassing on people's property or any type of theft. So here you go. This is emergency response team, state assisted EMS support vehicle, state placard ID. What does this even mean? Again, who are these organizations? We need to find out about all of this. We need to investigate. Here's another one, pulling up to get more people. Now, why is this important? Well, for hundreds of reasons. When you allow this type of illegal activity to go on at an industrial scale, it allows criminals to bring in drugs, kidnap children, you name it. We have video at the airports of the same woman day after day delivering children saying, this is my child, babies. They're allowed to fly, just handing them off to people, handing them off to NGOs, and then these children just disappear. My sister's adopted. It took us 2 years to adopt her from South Korea. They had to go through all the background checks. They had to check us out, and we had to pay a lot of money, and they had to make sure that they weren't taking a child from a woman that wasn't trying to give the child up. And there should be a lot of strictures and rules and laws involved in adoption. This is, again, industrial scale taking place, and again, they're obviously about to load this back up and then leave as well. Again, you've got these people in their supposed security guard outfits, and this is all just outfits. It's just dressing it up with the appearance of legality. So they've got little armed guards out here conducting this human trafficking at an industrial scale. That's why Kamala Harris, for the first 5 months that she was the border czar, wouldn't come down here. She didn't come to McAllen. She didn't come to any of the real border checkpoints. She went to El Paso. She went to El Paso. She spent 3 hours there, and then she left. It was Biden that said, if I get elected, immediately surge the border. Now over 500,000 people have been apprehended coming through and let go under Biden They estimate as much as 3 times more, or 1.5 million more, in just the last 5-6 months have come through as well. So again, ladies and gentlemen, what you have is industrial scale activity now, where they bring them in across the border. Who they are is not checked. They are brought here by the Border Patrol after they're smuggled across. The Border Patrol's own union says we now complete the smuggling process into the U.S. They then hand off to the so-called Catholic Charity. This is just one building of many, to then load up these vans, and the people then disappear into the interior of the country, where they're given new identities, where they're then signed up by Democrat Party sponsor families who farm them. So just like Democrats farm homeless and say, come to our city, and then they live in tent cities, but Democrat social workers, private and governmental, sign them up for a bunch of welfare and then milk that off the top. So you've heard of farmers that farm corn or soybeans or wheat or vegetables like green beans. These people farm humans. And so they bring in these exploitable third world populations. Now, another big reason we're here today is President Trump is coming to the border facilities here in South Texas today. He's going to tour several of them. And we're just here documenting that while he's busy checking those out, the real serious issues are going on right under his nose. And that the Border Patrol, again, is on record saying they are there to complete the smuggling process. And so that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. All of it blacked out so that you don't know what's going on with the women and the children predominantly. And as you can see right over here, this is a whole nother building, and it just goes on and on and on.
We're at 7 minutes.
And we've got another guard right here, and you can just hear the noise. Sounds like it's a party going on in there. Just a huge facility, goes on for about 80 yards, just completely jam-packed and filled with human trafficked souls. This is the modern slavery being signed up for the Democratic Party UN Global Plantation, and they use our laws against no trespassing and our privacy laws to then tell us to stay off their supposed property. And they also use the mask that everyone's still wearing down here to even cover up the identities of who these people are. So the magnitude of this is incredible. So they trespass on our country. They're organized by the UN. Trump in 2017 pulled us out of the UN treaty that we never actually signed on to, but we were following, where the UN decides who can come in. Well, the UN just blank check says all these people are refugees fleeing poverty so they can come to the United States and then demand all the free welfare and again be clients of the system. So this is the breaking of the United States and bringing in the permanent underclass. Let's bring Tim Enlow over here. Tim, why don't you explain to the viewers and listeners just some of the background and some of the other key points so that they understand the magnitude of the illegality of this.
Right. So just as an example, when Border Patrol Del Rio sector about 3 weeks ago released their numbers for May, in the Del Rio sector alone, Border Patrol had stopped 174,000 illegal aliens. Okay, that's in 1 month in one sector on the U.S. border. Now we know.
Tim, lead us over here. It's happening again right now.
Well, right. So these are some of the people that they're bringing out of this new facility that they just leased. Again, these folks are going to be transported to the McAllen International Airport, and they're going to be taken to a destination city of their choice.
And this is live. This is unedited. Just since we started rolling 9 minutes ago, this is the third load being loaded up.
Now,
these children are not in car seats, you notice.
Now, the interesting thing is this is supposedly a Catholic charity. Now, let's count the security personnel that they're bringing out to put this family into the van. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 security personnel.
Because this is a important cargo for Democrats to farm and milk the welfare they're going to sign this human chattel up for. This is slavery.
And imagine the costs involved, right? Imagine 7 security personnel that got to be paid, okay, on an hourly basis to sit there and transport these people and make sure they're protected. So they're literally protecting illegal aliens as they're taking them to the airport. Well, they will fly to a destination city of their choice with no documentation other than whatever they told Border Patrol their name is, right? That is literally what's going on right now. You can see it's happening by the van load. 5 minutes ago, one van pulled off. Now the next van's being loaded up, and then pretty soon there'll be another one. Now, the interesting thing is, when we drove in, we noticed that the COVID testing site had been removed, okay? So before, Border Patrol was dropping them at the COVID testing site, then the Catholic Charity here would walk up there, march them down the street, march them into their facility, get them plane tickets, and put them on planes to the interior of the United States. That COVID testing site is now removed, which tells us now they're not even testing for COVID anymore. So hundreds of thousands of illegals coming across the border, not being tested, no background check being done.
And here's another key point to add. A few months ago, we're out here and we see the man putting the 3 children in the trunk, which is illegal, so we stopped them. Now, they're loading these children in again without child seats again. And we saw it happening with the other vehicle as well. So again, this is a total waiving of the law at every level. And notice they're now calling themselves in the buildings disaster relief vehicles. So you know the Texas governor's declared an emergency down here. What do you bet that they're getting some of the Texas emergency money to stop the imploded border that Biden created, and that they're actually using disaster money for the smuggling? We're going to have to look into this, but again, the globalists, the UN, create an emergency. They create an emergency, and then they get all our tax money to create an even bigger emergency, just like with the homeless. That's the plan. Tim, tell them the rest of the stories. Explain and brief folks on the disaster down here and how these counties have been opting out and why these folks are wearing, quote, disaster zone, and then it says disaster zone on the back of the vehicle. In fact, look right here before they pull out. See right here? Emergency response team. Tim, come over here and talk to us on camera. What do you think this means? Because they're all wearing emergency response team, acting like they're official. They've got guns, the rest of it now, I guess, to protect the human smuggling operation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so what they're doing is they're tapping in to federal funds to sit there and justify the cost of importing these illegal aliens and sending them to the interior of the United States. Now, the interesting part is we all know that Governor Abbott issued a declaration, emergency declaration for a lot of the counties down here, but 4 counties in the Rio Grande Valley, including Hidalgo, Cameron, Willacy, and Starr counties, have all opted out of Abbott's emergency declaration. Why? Because they do not want to cooperate with law enforcement.
Let me stop you. So much is happening. The rest of your security team. Dustin, come tell folks real quick what you just saw. They just smuggled a bunch of people right out of that door while we were talking, and just went and loaded them right down there. Dustin, tell us what you saw.
About 10 families just went over to the bus station.
10 families. Let's go over there. Which way do they go? So, ladies and gentlemen, and Jim, you'll be able to finish here for the show. I want this is unedited, one tape. I want to be playing it live on air later today. We're just taping it. We just got here 15 minutes ago. You're watching a continual thing happen. They just saw 10 families right behind our backs slip out and go on a bus that drove off. And there's just buildings all over doing this, all over. We're told they've rented more than 15 buildings down here. Tim, come back and finish your point.
Right. So as I was saying, Hidalgo, Starr, Willacy, and Cameron counties all opted out of the governor's emergency declaration down here, primarily because they do not want to be cooperating with law enforcement and making their jails available. See, Governor Abbott now wants DPS to have the power to arrest these illegal aliens for trespassing, especially when they damage property on the various ranches that they cross down here. That's been a huge problem for the ranchers down here. So, but as we know, these counties in the Rio Grande Valley, Cameron, Hidalgo, Starr, and Willacy, those are heavily Democrat-controlled counties. And that is why they have opted out and are refusing to cooperate with Governor Abbott's emergency declaration order.
Look right there. Jesus. Look at this. I mean, they're coming in as fast as you can do. My God, Trump needs to be here. Those are all volunteers packing in to help process everything. You see that? This is an Army operation, ladies and gentlemen. So there are buses and vans just going out all the time, constantly. And then we just saw about 15, 16 volunteers going in to help organize this invasion. This is incredible. Let's continue. All right, Tim, I'm going to send this up to the network. Basically, I want the network to air this unedited in between the segments from start to finish with Owen Schroyer's commentary when we're not talking, Owen, because I want to get this out to everybody. Tim, finish up the recap. I mean, Trump needs to be here. Explain where Trump's going to be today and the fact that we're right here in the center of this, and they've set these up all across the Texas border.
Right, and unfortunately we see this with all the Republicans that have come down here. It's more about the photo op than actually getting to the truth, right? So we know Trump is here and Abbott is here today. Unfortunately, where are they going? They're going to the DPS station out in Weslaco. Then they're going to a town hall meeting at an airport hangar. Okay, that's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to expose the people the problem, which is happening right down here, downtown McAllen, at this Catholic charity, which this charity alone is responsible in the last 6 months of facilitating the transport of thousands upon thousands of illegal aliens into the interior of the United States. And nobody's doing anything about it.
And explain it, one sector, how many people they apprehended.
Right. In the Del Rio sector, as we said earlier, 174,000 illegals stopped in 1 month. Now, we all know that for every illegal that's stopped, 3, 4, 5 successfully make it into the United States. That means likely in that one sector alone, we're looking at close to 500,000 illegals in 1 month that have sat there, crossed the border, and made it into the United States. This has to stop. People need to speak up. We got to put pressure on our government to put an end to this.
Here's another example. Here's another example of what we're breaking down, what we're talking about. We were just here a few months ago. When was that, Tim, that we stopped the car with them loading the kids in?
Around April.
So what, 4 months ago now?
Yeah.
We're here 4 months ago and catch that on tape, and people couldn't even believe it. We just saw more kids getting loaded in without child safety seats as well. Okay, but the point is, people are in denial about this. This is all real. You can come here in McAllen. Tell people the corner.
Look at this.
We're on 15th Street and Austin, okay? This is real.
Let's go to the other side and
This
watch
is
it get
not
out there
fair.
and get out.
My God, it's like every 30 seconds.
Okay, guys, here we are in McAllen, Texas.
Ask them where they're from, Alex.
Wow, get this.
Yep.
Here's the armed guard.
Here.
And the Border Patrol is driving this bus.
That's right. So if you look,
Yep.
you have Border Patrol agents. Okay. It's interesting. This gentleman's tab says security on it, but it'll be interesting to see what patch they have on their shoulder. These are the same buses that Border Patrol was using.
And they're prison buses too. See how they got secure windows and secure doors?
And notice the mask have nothing to do with COVID. It's to cover up the criminal activity. It's the sign of the criminal takeover. It's just like the Bane and Batman or something.
So now it's transport security officer. So because they know it's going to look bad, if you have a Border Patrol officer sitting there driving the bus.
Like they were doing last time.
Like they were doing last time. So last time they had the cutout, and the cutout was the COVID testing center. So the Border Patrol would drive up to the COVID testing center, and that was being by a Border Patrol officer. But now that they've even done away with the COVID testing and are bringing them directly to the Catholic Charity, they know they can't have a government agent doing that, because that would show that the Biden administration is directly complicit. So now they have these, quote, security transport officers that are now driving these buses and bringing the illegal aliens in.
Biden has turned the U.S. border, southern border, over to criminal cartels, private security mercenaries, and law and order has officially broken down here. And the governor finally did something and is trying to block it, and he's being blocked by the counties and cities. As the governor and the legislature, they should move in, and the state should take over these counties. Just like when Austin tried to defund the police, he threatened to come in and not nationalize, but have the state take over the police. That's in the Constitution of the state. That's how the federalist system works. And this is illegal, this is outrageous, and this is at an industrial scale. We've been here now 20 minutes. This has been rolling 20 minutes. We're shooting this about an hour before Owen goes live. We're gonna upload this to Band.video raw as soon as we can, and then we're just gonna keep shooting. And so let's wait until this offloads.
Okay.
Let's wait till this offloads, and let's cut there. Tim makes some final points, and then we're gonna just keep rolling here while Trump's gonna get a little tour at the DPS facility. And imagine if Trump came here.
So there's one more point I'd like to make, right? When we rolled up, this is our first day in McAllen, we didn't know what to expect. We drove by the COVID testing site at 15th and US 83, it was shut down. We thought, well, maybe things have changed. But now they've actually gotten worse, okay? Now the buses are coming directly here. What's interesting is, when we first pulled up, they were doing it in the open. But now that we're here filming, you see they don't want to open the bus. They don't want to debus all these illegals, but that's why it's so important for Americans to get involved.
See him putting
Let's
his
be
hands
clear.
back. He's relaxing.
Let's be clear. They're going to wait because that's their entrance.
That's exactly
That's the
right.
back door.
That's exactly right.
They go in there, and an hour later, they go out there and get on buses. They come in on this bus through that door,
So since we were
and
here
then
in April,
they go down and get on those green buses right there.
So since we were here in April, you can tell that the media has not been covering this, right? So they got comfortable again and thought, oh, we can just ramp up this this illegal operation tenfold, 20-fold, and nobody's filming it. But now we all of a sudden show up
No, Tim.
unannounced.
That was all fake we shot.
Right, that's what they said. But now we show up, and now they're scared to follow through with their plan. Now they don't know what to do. And that's why Americans need to get out of their homes. You need to get in the streets. You need to come down to the border, and you need to help stop this.
Absolutely. Okay.
I think we should probably cut it here because it's
Absolutely.
20 minutes long.
I want to keep going a little bit more.
Okay.
Leave all the stuff in there.
All right.
We're going to upload this to Band.video, freeworldnews.tv. Share it. It'll be live on the Alex Jones Show today. We'll be cutting in live other reports. It's total bedlam at the border. Everywhere is like this. There's only one spot in the city of McAllen. This is huge. Share this. You are the Paul Reveres. This is illegal. This is the breakup of the U.S. Biden is acting as a dictator. Psaki has the nerve to blame this on Republicans. Defund the police on Republicans. It's sick. But the Republican establishment knows how bad this is, and it's not acting to stop it properly. Thank God President Trump and Governor Abbott's doing a better job now. I've come down here. We're going to be covering that live today. freeworldnews.tv. We're going to go back across the street now. You'll see this in another video as soon as we get out of their way. Because right now, I guess we're blocking the smuggling. They will then disgorge. Infowars.com, tomorrow's news today. All right, let's go across the street.
You want me to kill it? You want me to kill this video? Okay.
We're not gonna come off the bus. We are here in McAllen, Texas. We've only been here 20 minutes. We've already seen more than 6 buses, more than 4 vans deliver and pick up hundreds and hundreds of people. This bus just pulled in a few minutes ago. They then go into that back alley room into a huge facility that goes for 80 yards down. They then come out and go to the bus station that is right down the street. So this is all being done illegally. Biden said immediately surge the border. Now they have armed guards calling themselves disaster response teams, so that as they bring these people in that came here illegally, it looks more official. There is no law and order. There are now armed gangs wearing disaster response team uniforms They've now removed the Border Patrol and have what they call private security firms driving these buses from the border with people brought here illegally, many of them children that have been kidnapped. That's been confirmed. Does everyone know where all the missing kids are from all over Latin America? This is it right here. Many of these are unaccompanied, and then we have video of the same woman at the airport handing it over to other social workers, babies saying, "This is my baby. I'm allowed to give you my baby," because legally they have to say that, which is not true. So this is absolutely incredible. Tim, you want to break this down for people?
Right. So, again, we really thought that with Governor Abbott's emergency declaration that things would become better down here. But what we're seeing here, just in the first 20 minutes of being here, is that things are actually gotten a lot worse. There's no pretense anymore. In the past, they tried to hide it somewhat from public view, but now the buses are constantly rolling in, and folks, we're talking thousands upon thousands of people. We need Americans to come out. We need pressure put on our government. We need this to stop.
And explain like you did off camera. They've got a problem because the pipeline is going to back up.
That's exactly right. So they're trying to play this game now to wait us out, right? So you see the bus is full of illegals. I mean, as you zoom in, you can clearly see them inside the bus, but now they don't want to open the door and they don't want to take them inside this Catholic charity. The problem they're going to run into is the same problem they ran into in April. We're not going anywhere, and that means the pipeline's going to back up. So sooner or later, they got to open those doors and let them out, because the next bus is already on its way.
And zoom in. He's on the phone trying to find out what to do right now. Walk around in front of him, Bob.
Yep.
So he's calling his supervisors right now saying, "Hey, we've got camera crews here. This is not going to look good. What are we going to do?"
Should we go ask them how long they're going to take? I'm gonna do a loop around the bus. There's another man.
All right, Rob.
Yeah. This one actually does have looks like one baby seat at least.
So let's show this. Another smuggling vehicle just pulled up.
Different driver. He's got the, it's like a Tennessee Volunteers hat. Volunteer, huh? Or it's a Texas hat. Tennessee, yeah.
Well, it's emergency response team. They're an emergency. And who issues these? Let's look at this. How's it going? What emergency response team are you with?
I will make it. If I talk, I'll get in trouble.
Okay, well, thank you.
Give me
Are you a volunteer? Or are you,
I'm
all right. Sounds like he'll talk to us. Huh?
And again, this was all triggered by Biden.
And when you implode the economy, what job do you have out there? You know, notice that?
Well, that's it. That's the key. They
Yeah.
turned the third world off for over a year.
Right.
Most of the people fleeing here say we can't get food. That's all Davos Group. That's all Great Reset.
Well, and
That's
these
all to
people
create-
working it too.
That's
The people.
all to create replacement migration. See, they just opened the back door. They're getting ready to go. Look. There's another bus right there. Tim, there's another one. Look. Here we go. Right here. So, just what Tim said, it's all going to back up. We got a bus disgorging right here. They didn't want to
Going in.
catch this on tape. We're catching it. Trump could come here right now. Governor Abbott could come here right now, but instead they're going to be at the DPS facility. Trump's not suppressing this, but I got to tell you, even Fox News not showing people this. Fox News could send a team down here. We've been in here 30 minutes. We're going to upload these in chunks, raw, to banned on video. And many of these people have disappeared out of their countries. Many of these people are alone, like this little boy right here.
Barefoot.
And they're just disappearing. There's this little kid. That's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy with a Hispanic lady and a baby. Right there, 100% not his mother. Did you just see that? We're catching. Trump could come here right now. Governor Abbott could come here right now, but instead they're going to be at the DPS facility. Trump's not suppressing this, but I got to tell you, even Fox News not showing people this. Fox News could send a team down here. We've been in here 30 minutes. We're going to upload these in chunks, raw, to banned on video. And many of these people have disappeared out of their countries. Many of these people are alone, like this little boy right here.
Barefoot.
And they're just disappearing. There's this little kid. That's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy with a Hispanic lady and a baby. Right there, 100% not his mother. Did you just see that right there?
I got it. I got it on video.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you just see what I just saw right there? We need to call the police. Tim, get over here. We got to call the police. I don't care what they say, I'm filing a police report. Tim, we got to call 911. No, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid with two Hispanic women, 100% blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, we got to call the police. 100% smuggling. Unbelievable. We got to call the police right now. Call 911. I'll call them. I understand, but with a woman that's super dark, I understand that. Yeah. Well, he walked up trying to give his blanket to the police. Didn't look like. You caught that on tape, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it on the wide angle.
The Senate report found that thousands of these children are not with their parents, and unaccompanied children are then picked up and tacked on.
Hundreds upon hundreds.
See the
This
other
is
one.
Sister Norma Pimentel's orchestrated invasion of the United States of America.
We saw children that clearly weren't with their parents. You're going to go to hell for this. Look, they make them wear the mask. They cover up their identities. That's another thing. They make these children wear masks so we don't know and no one will ever know who they were.
And again, it's ironic that they've taken down the COVID testing center, but now they're sitting there still forcing them to wear masks.
Long act aspect ratio. We're not recording. It's on tape though. It's good. We got it all. Oh, what should we do about that?
You can try. You can try call that one. But that's why we're not now.
God bless you, brother. What's your name?
John.
Nice to meet you. Hey, we saw children unaccompanied by themselves going in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell when a child's unaccompanied and was by himself. And I noticed, oh, that child's by himself. He's doing like this. No woman's with him. And he walked over to the guard and said, what do I do? Oh, and he had blonde hair and blue eyes.
Church or what?
It's not a church. It's George Soros UN Smuggling Center. Absolutely. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. So you just saw that bus disgorged, but they're still staying on this one. Maybe they got more unaccompanied children. Because I saw this little boy going like this without women. And I went, wait a minute, that little kid's got blonde hair and blue eyes. And I know that, Spanish background, all that stuff, some people have those colorations. It's very rare. I already saw a little boy and I went, something's weird. He's by himself. There's no women with him. He's going like this, not knowing where he is.
One of those kids was barefoot too.
Yeah, barefoot, you name it. I mean, the Senate admits a lot of these are smuggled, kidnapped kids. The cartel uses them over and over again to get across the border. God, this is so freaking evil, man. Again, folks, they've decided not to disgorge people into the back here. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Tim, this is the key point. They weren't scared to let us see those, which was bad enough. Barefoot kids, children unaccompanied, look like a 5-year-old. What do you think's on this bus that they were going to already go to the back, to the alley, and they've been sitting there 20 minutes now?
I think they're definitely coming from two different locations. When we look inside this bus, there's cages. The people are being locked behind cages, whereas that bus was a civilian type bus and just had a civilian driver. This bus here has 2 armed guards on it. So my best guess is that this is coming from a secure border patrol facility, and we're not quite sure yet where that one may be coming from one of the hotels where the COVID positives are being put for a week before they can rejoin the pipeline.
I heard a record skip there. That's right. There's cages with armed men that say private security with a bus. The definition of human smuggling, and they're scared and won't come off.
That's exactly right.
But the others are getting off with barefoot, unaccompanied children. That's no big deal. They're not scared to hide that. Whatever it is they're hiding is on that bus.
Right. So what we know is, and from the last time we were here...
Yeah, turn around with the background.
Right. So we know from the last time we were here that when they were testing people for COVID, they were putting them up in hotels, and the Catholic Charity here would give them a phone number and say, if you don't have any symptoms within 7 days, call us, we'll pick you up, and we'll put you back in the pipeline to help you get where you want to go in the United States. All illegally, of course. But the people that are coming directly from the Border Patrol station, and here comes a Border Patrol vehicle now, my guess is this is the backup that was called from the people inside that bus. So now the Border Patrol is arriving.
Because they don't have real authority to be transporting people in cages.
That's exactly right.
Again, another federal crime maybe. Because if you got private security transporting prisoners,
It'll be quieter.
that is so damn illegal. Tim, this is huge. Yep, just as you said, Tim. And as you predicted, Tim, Border Patrol's in charge of this. Here they are. We've caught them. They over here, dude.
Yep.
This is a Border Patrol run operation. That's the Catholic Charity Building right here, the annex to the Catholic Charity Building. And now we have the official Border Patrol agent here, along with the private security guards, all armed. And now they're going to debus the illegals that are behind the cages inside this bus. And again, in the past, Border Patrol would drive the buses to the COVID testing site. They're no longer doing that. Now they are acting as security for this operation. And here we go. And here they come, folks. They just keep coming. This is the second bus in the last 15 minutes that we've been on site here from the Catholic Charity in McAllen, Texas. Every one of these children and adults will be allowed to fly to the interior of the United States without government knowing where they are going or how to find them. They do not have to apply for amnesty for up to a year of being in the United States. This is the new policy that the Biden administration started, reversing Trump's MPP's migrant protection protocols, where Trump was making them wait in Mexico until their asylum hearing. Biden came in, and as soon as he took office, he reversed that. And now we are seeing a literal invasion of the United States of America.
And he said search the border when he elected.
So before he even got elected, that's a good point, before he even got elected, he told these migrants to surge toward the U.S. border, that he would assist them getting into the United States. Well, if Biden's kept his word about one thing, it's that he would support this invasion of the United States.
And this is after the UN, with the Great Reset, imploded the third world and wouldn't let them operate. So these people say they're starving in their own countries. The UN organizes them with the refugee program they run and then bring them here. This is direct UN assault.
That's exactly what it is.
And I'm just talking about the United States. Your promise you're going to know. Promise you something.
There's still more coming. And again, folks, these buses run from morning until late at night.
Another one just pulled in over there.
So it just continues on and on and on. Full buses, filled to capacity.
Sorry to ask you. Sir, what's your name? You're not going to tell us your name? Rodriguez? What's your first name? Under what authority or private security do I transport these people? You can't talk to us?
You gotta put somebody.
All right, thank you. There he goes. The whole thing. And look more. Look down here. Look. Look, just boom. Just everywhere. And the liberal media said this was fake. They said this didn't exist. And get the video of them working together. The whole three.
You realize you're violating state law. You realize you're
He's violating state law right here. We need to call the police on this guy. They're going to pull out on him.
So again, they don't care. They don't care. As long
They don't
as
have car seats. They're violating state law again.
Per person, they get paid. Per person, they get paid.
There's just bus. There's another bus. There's another bus. There's another bus. There's more. It's just everywhere. It's a total invasion. And it's all run by the UN. God almighty. Hey, come back over here, Tim. Look at this over here. Buses. Buses. I mean, this is all Biden. And this guy right here has these children in here.
With
They
no
just
car
loaded
seats.
babies in there with no car seats. And I get a ticket. I go to jail for that. But because they're smuggling people, it's supposedly okay. Because the law has all been waived here. Now, the police will get you on a technicality like not having a car seat, but they don't care if you're a child that got kidnapped in Guatemala, as the Senate reports found. Stay right here, Dave. I'm going to talk to this guy. Tim, get over here. You need car seats. That's illegal. We're getting your number. You're not allowed to transport babies without car seats. It's just like last time, folks. Is it fake again this time? No, it's not. This is an absolute collapse of the U.S. under the United Nations. And I guess we're just going to step aside and watch more little children, not even in seatbelts, just disappear because it's okay, because Joe Biden said so.
I mean, they're liberal.
I mean, they're liberal. You know, it's like all the pedophilia. Oh, it's okay because they're liberal. It's like Hollywood. The whole left is nothing but poison to destroy this country. There's another bus over there. Let's go over there. All right, transporting those children is illegal the way you're doing it. It's just like last time, but this time we're just going to let them go. Because our will's being broken. Look, more Border Patrol here. More vehicles. Look, there's another van full of people right there going to the alley. And another van. I mean, look at this.
Here we go. Here comes the next group. And it goes on non-stop. this young lady this year's identity is concealed. What is his name? ISS Active Security. Okay. Hope that job is worth selling out your country for, man. I really hope it's worth it. Selling out your country.
Again, these are all Central Americans.
Lots of jobs out there, brother. Lots of jobs.
It's all illegal. It's in the open hold. Central Americans that are coming with the Great Reset. Turn the economy off for a year and a half. Flood the first world, the third world. Egypt, globalist plan, replacement migration. Permanent rural enterprise service flow. Globalist plan, replacement migration. Permanent rural enterprise service flow. It's illegal here. The first world, the third world. Great Reset. Turn the economy off for a year and a half. Flood the first world, the third world. Egypt, globalist plan, replacement migration. Permanent rural enterprise service flow. It's illegal here. This is not a one-man on the So while Trump and DPS sit around their facility, I'm not against them. I just never see the DPS come. Never see
Being loaded into vans without car seats again, right? 3 years old, 2 years old, just being stuffed into these vans.
And again, people said we lied last time. This is the corner of 15th and Austin. What do you want to say to folks that said we lied?
Well, here you are. You said, oh, the building says Hollywood on it. It must be a stunt. Well, here's a security guard who works for Catholic Charities RGV. And he told me last time that we had gotten information that they were going to lease this building across the street from their headquarters. As you can see, that is where they keep the illegal aliens.
And there goes the modern train car. There goes the modern train car with the human slaves. This is like Nazi Germany with train cars, bringing in the third world slaves.
Now just do the math. Like all the ones we've seen in 20 minutes. So imagine till 10 o'clock at night. How many folks we're talking about? We're talking about thousands a day. Thousands a
We
day.
need to upload all this to Band.video, and they need, starting tonight, we need to just stream all this out. We've got to get this out to everybody. I mean, my God.
As worse as ever been. As worse as ever been. It's like triple the speed as it was.
That's more than triple. It's like, what, 5 times the speed?
Yeah, it's like 5 times. It never ends.
And there goes the Border Patrol. And then I love these security guards covering their faces with Catholic Charities with guns on their sides, bugging their eyes out of them. So now the left believes in the Second Amendment because they got armed men to help carry this out. This is all illegal. Violates federal law, but Congress is doing nothing.
You want me to stop this one? We're about 23 minutes in.
Yeah, let's stop now and start uploading.
Okay.
The 4th of July.